What's going on? Welcome back, everybody, to another Apple Home Talk Live, another live stream all about building a smart home. How's everybody doing today? Happy Wednesday once again. Hope you guys are having a great week. Getting close to the holidays here. Let's say hi to some folks and we're going to get into some things. We got quite a few things we can discuss and chat about today in the smart home world. Let's see, make sure you can hear me and see me okay. All my stuff is kind of out of whack. Okay, there we go. What's going on, Torin? Good to see you here. Lurk Jerk here from the Netherlands. What's up? Let's see who else we got here. Albert, what's up, Albert? Idaho in the house. Frederick and Brian, good to see you guys here. Appreciate y'all helping out today. What's up, Larry? Happy Wednesday. I am having a good day. It's been a good, productive day. Thank you, Larry. Getting some things done, film some things, and yeah, man, a lot of CES prep. I've been doing here lately. Looks good, sounds good. Thank you, Wisp Sidai. Sorry, said that wrong probably. How would it be if he could see us? That would be cool. That's actually kind of what like our monthly member chats are like. So if you're a channel member, you get access to our member Discord server, and we do a chat member hangout every month over there, which is always a lot of fun. And yeah, I get to kind of see some of you guys who want to be there, and that's always fun. Let's see who else here we got in the chat. Aaron, what's up, Aaron? We got Stephen from Stefan from Denmark. Sorry, I butcher names all the time. I do apologize if I butcher your name. I'll apologize in advance. We got Ontario, Canada in the house. What's up, Wild Bill? Trent's here. What's up, Trent? 70. Okay, I thought you were talking about the weather there. Some talk about Homey. Yeah, there's been some news there. Well, yeah, we've been busy around here. Lots of stuff going on. Obviously, we got the holidays coming up. So that's, it's an exciting time. I've been working on quite a few projects. I'm actually like smart home stuff. And then I've started making a list just yesterday, I think, of things that I want to get done during the holidays. So like we're going to take a little bit of a break from the live streams after today. So this is actually as the title says, the last live stream of 2025, which is kind of hard to believe. Excuse me. But since we always do these on Wednesdays, and next Wednesday is Christmas Eve. The Wednesday after that is New Year's Eve, if I'm not mistaken. So we're going to just take a short little break after this live stream today, and then we'll come back nice and refreshed in January after CES. So we got CES coming, and after CES, we'll be back doing these weekly live streams and hopefully have a lot more new smart home stuff to talk about. What's up, Pamakit here in the chat? Tyler Pat, what's up? Let me see. See a question there. So I'm going to save these questions. Thanks, Frederick. Frederick talking about the podcast there. Check out the new podcast called Wife Approved. Check it out after the live stream, Frederick said. Yes, thank you. So yeah, check it out if you want to see a little bit of the behind the scenes. We talk about smart home stuff, but we also just go off into all kinds of stuff. So it kind of goes beyond just the smart home. We talk about marriage, family, holidays, chaos, the craziness that is life usually, which does often involve a lot of smart home. How do you call it? I don't know. We'll just call it smart home stories. You get to hear from my wife a lot over there, and it's usually me upsetting her with something I've done in my smart home. So, but there should be a link in the show notes in the video description of the live stream today. So check that out after this if you're interested, and give you something to maybe tune into during the holidays as you're hopefully taking a little bit of time off. So I know that's one thing I'm looking forward to, is kind of getting to a few projects that I have not been able to do or just haven't had time to do. So I'm going to kind of ease off a little bit from obviously live streams the next couple weeks, and then probably some videos too. So I can actually do some other things that I've been wanting to get done And follow me over on Instagram if you haven't already, because I'll definitely be posting probably more over there when I kind of take these little breaks. But Thump Jimmy, what's going on? Says Merry Christmas above freezing in Maine. Nice. The Whatley smart home stories. Yeah, I feel that. That's about right. So let's get to a couple things, and then we'll take as many questions as we can today. HomeKit says, I would love to go to CES, but it's out of my budget. Unless I find a sponsor for my channel, it won't be possible. Well, keep it up. Maybe you will be able to get out there. That is a long trip for you, so I totally understand. That's kind of like my version of going to IFA in Germany, which I did just go do this year in September. Was the first year I've been able to do that. So, and it's definitely a lot of fun. But yeah, hopefully we'll get to see you out at CES one of these days. And it was cool, awesome to see you out there in Germany. Some CES stuff already. Yeah, so we're gonna start seeing a lot of announcements and stuff like that in January. A lot of stuff is under embargo still. Some of the stuff we're hearing about already, but some of the things are starting to come in, and there's gonna be a lot of things to talk about. It's always fun, like IFA and CES, because all these companies, they usually wait and release news and announcements and stuff during that. So even if they're not at CES, there'll be a lot of press releases and stuff like that announced. So it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to seeing hopefully some Matter cameras. That's what I'm looking for. So a couple of things. Speaking of smart home products, I did just do a video on the SwitchBot AI art frame, so wanted to share that with you guys. Let me and there's Homey. I think I got some links up. Let's check that. Yeah, okay. So the SwitchBot AI art frame, I was really interested and curious about this product, so I did a video on this, and my wife was actually really interested in this too when she first heard about it. So unique product, but I'm bringing it up here because it is on sale right now, so it's kind of expensive, but you can get it 20% off or 38% off right now if you want to if you want to check that out. And actually a lot of the SwitchBot stuff is on sale too. So like, it's not just that. They've got, I did just make a video about that, but they're really good deal on the vacuums. They've got the candle warmer, the new presence sensor. I actually have one of those right here, and I did finally get around to setting up one of these yesterday. Was it yesterday or a couple days ago? So I'm going to be trying out one of these. It's a wireless presence sensor. It's SwitchBot's version. So I'm excited to see more of these like wireless presence sensors coming out. Let's see. Oh man, we got a super chat. Frederick, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's see. Does my super chat button even work? Nice. It's been so long since I don't know if you guys could hear that. If that, let me know if there was audio there. It's been so long since I think I've pushed that button. Thank you, Frederick, for the super chat, man. I appreciate that. It says, will there be a stream during CES week? I have not committed to that, and I hesitate to commit because I'm kind of afraid to do a live stream from CES because the Wi-Fi, the connection is always so spotty, when you're traveling, and especially at those big conferences like that. So I worry that if I try to do a live stream, there and kind of hype it up, and then like I just can't connect or anything, that's kind of what I worry about. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I might do something like, I think it might be kind of fun just to do something kind of like off the cuff and just like go live one day, maybe without even announcing it or whatever, and just go live either on YouTube or maybe even on Instagram also, but doing like maybe just a vertical, like a vertical live, from my phone or something. That might be fun. So I'm thinking about doing something like that, but I have not committed, and we will not have like one of these official kind of, live streams like we're doing right now, just because I, like I said, I worry about the connection there too much. But stay tuned, turn on notifications, follow me on Instagram, because I might do something if we have some time, and I don't know, that could be fun. So I'm kind of playing around with that. No sound on the super chat. Okay, I'm gonna have to fix that. Thanks. Well, the graphics popped up, so I'm gonna have to get my little sound effects working again. Yeah, for sure. So it depends on what time we were to do it. I think it would definitely be fun to do it, I don't know, a little bit later in the afternoon. And I'm sure cocktails will be flowing if that's the case. So let's see here. Okay, so we talked about SwitchBot deals. Also, Aqara has a bunch of really good deals right now. I did drop a little like short video, so I wanted to share that with you. The Aqara U100 lock is 36% off. The G5 Pro is the camera, the big camera hub, 33% off, or 33 or 34% off. Their video doorbell is on sale right now. The door window sensors, a lot of stuff. The M3 hub is on sale. That one I think is like 33% off right now. So definitely some good Aqara stuff, which is, always nice to find a good deal. Let's see, are there any other deals that I want to share? Oh, somebody mentioned in our Discord server that the Eve flare, which is that little guy right there in the background, the little globe thing, that's on sale also. I think it was like, 20% off, I think, on Amazon. So, if you're maybe looking for some last minute gifts for yourself, check those out. I have not bought any of the IKEA devices. No, the new IKEA devices, I have not. I don't know. I might need to order some. They seem to be of high interest among, the smart home people. So maybe I'll get some just to check out. I don't have an IKEA near me, so it's not as convenient as those who have an IKEA close by. And shipping kind of sucks from IKEA sometimes in my experience. So I don't know. I'll have to check that out and see if maybe that's something we can do. Turin says, "Where's the Grinch stickers on that Eve flare?" Yeah, definitely do that if you have an Eve flare. I don't have the Grinch stickers on this one, but I do on the other one. I've got another Eve flare actually in our living room, kind of near the Christmas tree, and I put the Grinch. You can get these little Grinch stickers. It's like a face. Same thing we did for Halloween. Some of you guys might have seen. Did like a jack-o'-lantern. You could just put these little stickers, decals on it. They've got some you can buy for the Grinch, and they're really cool, but I don't have them up here. They are on my other one though. PalmaKit says, "Is the SwitchBot present sensor Bluetooth because the Aqara FP300 and Meros are a matter over thread?" Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is Bluetooth because you need the Hub 3 to connect, and I don't think SwitchBot is doing Bluetooth 4.2. So I've only been using it for a couple days, like I said, but so far pretty impressed with it. I'll have to check, update you guys later on that because I haven't really had a whole lot of time with it, but I have been curious about it because it's a nice little form factor. It's battery powered, which is, again, just really great. So I'm going to keep using this in one or two places and we'll let you know how it goes. Speaking of wireless presence sensors, this was just, I guess, recently released, or not released, but it's been announced. So LaFair was probably the first true presence sensor that was wireless that I saw, but it was really big. I wish I brought one up here to kind of show on screen, but they're releasing the LWR02, I guess sometime in the future. It doesn't really say when it's coming or anything, but let's see if I can find. This is the original one, and it works pretty well, but it's big. It's like the whole size of my palm basically, so it's pretty big device. I'd say it's the biggest wireless presence sensor that I've used, and I don't know. I'm not really sure how big this one is. It's hard to tell from these photos, but looks like they've maybe tried to improve the form factor a little bit. So we'll see. Maybe when that's released, we might have another option to check out. Brian, my man, celebrates 53 months of membership. Thank you, Brian, for continuing to support the channel and helping us here in these live streams. Brian says, favorite holiday automation or scene, and what's your favorite holiday drink to enjoy when watching that automation? Eggnog is the only right answer. I don't know, man. I don't know. I might have one for you, but it might get you to change your answer. Let's see, to answer this, favorite holiday automation or scene. So I'm going to go with just something super basic, but you guys, y'all know me, I kind of like to keep it simple most of the time. I will say probably my favorite automation really is just all the Christmas lights. Can I combine multiple automations into this? It's basically my Christmas lights coming on and off, either with the sun coming up and going down outside, all my Christmas lights outside, or the Christmas tree. That's really great. Basically, I have that set where it just comes on and off in the morning, you know, when we get up out of bed, so it's already on when we come into the living room. And then it turns off when everybody leaves the house. It also turns on automatically when everybody arrives home or when the first person arrives home. So it kind of seems like our Christmas tree is always lit up because it is when we're there, when we want it there. And then, you know, it turns off by itself when we are gone or going to bed and stuff like that. So that's probably my favorite. Also, I've really enjoyed the back porch Christmas lights that we put up. So I guess lighting, I just use lighting as my answer there. It's been really nice to have all those Christmas lights on the back porch. Kind of sets the scene, gives you the nice Christmas feels, if you will. And then my favorite holiday drink to enjoy, man, I'm kind of a bourbon guy, so it's really just bourbon on the rocks usually. Maybe I'll splurge and get a good one. I do have something that I want to do this Christmas. I had a dessert cocktail when I was at this one nice restaurant a little while ago. I think it might have been for my anniversary or something with Caroline. And it was just, they had like a separate dessert menu and cocktail menu for dessert. And it was a Reese's, it sounds kind of gross, but I had to try it. But it was a Reese's Old Fashioned, and it had, I think they used either chocolate bitters or chocolate simple syrup. And it tasted like an old fashioned, but it had just enough like sweet chocolatey peanut butter taste. Man, it was so freaking good. It was like dessert, but it was an old fashioned. So I'm going to try to recreate that on Christmas probably. So that's probably going to be my new favorite beverage to enjoy during the holidays, I would say. Let's see here. I'm honestly not really a huge eggnog fan. I see we got some people talking about eggnog here. I don't know, man. It's so sweet. And I know I just talked about like a dessert cocktail, but you know, that eggnog is just so sweet. Nice bourbon with the smoker. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, I think last Christmas we smoked some old fashions. Definitely. Official Baba is trolling. What's going on? Okay. Couple other things that were new I want to share with you guys, and then I'll answer questions. So if you have questions, y'all go ahead and drop them in the chat and just preface your comment with the word question, and I'll try to answer once we get to the questions here in just a second. But another couple things real quick. So I saw this recently. This was kind of interesting. So I don't know if you guys remember Hoobs, or if you are still using Hoobs, let me know in the chat if you're using it and you know how that's going and stuff like that. They released a new version, an updated version, and I don't know. I was kind of surprised to see this, honestly. So the all new Hoobs box. Let's see how much this bad boy cost right here. $349, $350 for the new Hoobs box, which is basically a Raspberry Pi. I don't know how I feel about that. Is anybody still using Hoobs? I feel like we talked about this a little bit in our Discord server. I feel like there was a time where Hoobs was really great to have. Now with, Home Assistant getting easier to use and Matter support now coming out, that's just, gives you more support for Apple Home and everything. I've just had less and less of a need to use something like Hoobs or even Homebridge. I was kind of surprised to see this, not only just because of the price right there, but also because of this Hoobs Pro that, it's still on pre-order, man. This thing has been like 2 years or something like that on pre-order. I think they did start shipping. I think they shipped some, but they've definitely had some issues getting this done and out the door. What do you guys think? Way too much, too high? Yeah, why pay for Hoobs when Homebridge is free, Lurk Jerk says. I think, oh, sorry, I must have missed the comment there. Hawkeye, instead of trying to find the comment, it says, I think those are the Yeelight. Are you talking about maybe the squares? Those are Yeelight. I missed your original comment there, sorry. But if you're talking about the squares, those are the Yeelight cubes. And yes, I did do a video about those a while ago. Yeah, Brian says, sounds like Hoobs is challenging Flick Duo for who can hold their customers out the longest before delivery. Well, I think Hoobs has definitely won that. If you ordered Hoobs Pro, like when they first announced, I mean, has anybody gotten the Hoobs Pro? I never ordered one. I was pretty excited about it. I mean, when you look at, like, it looks like a pretty awesome device, very similar to me to like something along the lines of like Homey Pro is what it kind of looks like, but they just never really shipped them. Brian, did you ever get your Flick Duo? Oh, thanks, Frederick. Yeah, the cubes under the TV. Yeah, those are the Yeelight cubes. If you search on my channel for Yeelight cubes, you should be able to find. There's a whole video about them. They're pretty cool. I have some under my desk over here also. You can change, they do different effects and stuff. I usually have it kind of like a fireplace kind of effect. Oh, mid-January for the black ones. Yeah, for the Flick Duo. Yeah, I've been having some fun with my little Flick Duo. Y'all might have seen the little made a magic Christmas wand, for the kids mostly. You can wave it around because it's got an accelerometer built in, so you can wave it around. I programmed it to do all kinds of different things, like it changes the effects on the Christmas tree. When you kind of swipe down, it'll go through and cycle through different effects on the tree. What else? And those outdoor lights. So basically everything, like all the Christmas related stuff, I programmed it to control. There's even an action to play a Christmas playlist on the Sonos speakers, and you can skip and fast forward and adjust the volume, all that with that little wand. So that was a pretty fun little project. Utilized the 3D printer on that one. Oh wow, ordered the Hoobs Pro and they never delivered. Dang. Yeah, that's pretty crazy, man. That's why I was like pretty surprised to see them release a new Hoobs like original update. I don't know, pretty wild. kind of along those lines, I know some of you guys have seen Homey has come out with this. I think this is pretty significant. I use Homey Pro. You've probably heard of Homey Pro a lot lately, or Homey Pro Mini, especially if you watch my channel or others. There's been a lot of people kind of using it. And basically it is a hardware box, but they just released Homey self-hosted server. So you can now run Homey on your own hardware, which is pretty significant, I think. So this is Homey's self-hosted server. Brand new software-only product that brings the power of Homey Pro's operating system to your own hardware. So you can think of it kind of like Home Assistant in a way, where you can download, you can install Home Assistant on your own PC or whatever, or Raspberry Pi, anything. And now you can do that with Homey. So they've got instructions on how to install it on Raspberry Pi, Mac OS, Windows, Synology, Docker, QNAP, and more, basically any Linux computer. So pretty awesome that you can now do that. There is more to it. So let's go down. Here, there's actually, I think it's on here. Oh no, maybe it's on the website. But here's the catch. I will say it's not free like Home Assistant. It's free for a month, so you can do this and you can use it for a month for free, which is nice. So you can try it out, test it out, see if it has all the integrations you would want, maybe things like that. And then if you like it, there is a subscription, $5 a month, or you can buy the lifetime license for about $150. So, or 150 pounds. Cloud services are included. Let's look into this a little bit more. Again, you can install it on just about anything. It gives you Matter capabilities, Zigbee, all that stuff. Let me find this. They've got here we go. So compared to Homey Pro, so here you got the Homey self-hosted server, and showing you the pricing there too, right? So you can do all the stuff basically that you can do on Homey Pro. And of course, when you get down to the connectivity, you got to have hardware in order to connect, like a Zigbee device, for example, or Z-Wave, Bluetooth, whatever. So if you need that hardware, then you can get the Homey Bridge, which I think is like around $60 or something like that, to give you that wireless protocol, or those different wireless protocols. Thread, I think if you have just a Thread border router on your system in your home, Apple HomePod, or Apple TV, something like that, you could use Thread. But I don't know. I kind of have mixed feelings about this. Let me check in with the comments. Let's see what you guys think. So Lurk Dirk says you won't regret it. It's great. Advanced flows are the best. I agree with that. Advanced flows are the best. And Homey Pro Mini is now available worldwide, or at least in the EU now. Okay, and Homey Pro is what, $199, so $200. What's up, Andy? Lurk Jerk says, I think $5 a month for a Homey Pro on a Mac Mini is a good price. Okay. Oh, what's up, Sundog Pack? Glad you could make it. Appreciate you stopping in. Yes, Homey Cloud and Homey Pro are two different products. So, yeah, so Homey Cloud has been available for a long time, right? And that's their cloud service, where you can subscribe to that, I think, as well. And also, I think there's a free trial there, and you can connect devices. But Homey, the self-hosted server, is basically installing the software and running it locally on your own system, basically. Much like, basically, it's the same as like a Homey Pro, except you're just not using their hardware. You're using your own hardware. Homey server is a gateway for the Pro or the Mini. Yeah, so my thoughts, first of all, like, I wish it was just free. That would be amazing. You know, like Home Assistant, they would get so many people probably if that was the case, but I understand, you know, you can't really do that. I do like the lifetime. I like that they offer a lifetime option, so you can just pay $150 and have it for life. If I was going to do the self-hosted server, I would probably do that. I would probably just come up with $150, pay it once, and have it forever. I wouldn't want to pay $5 a month forever because, you know, if you're using this, and especially if you're committing to it and you're connecting all your devices, you're building automations and all this stuff, it's something you're going to want to be using for a long time, and it won't take too long before you end up just paying $200 or $400, you know, if you're paying every month. So I would probably just go the $150 route. But then at that point, you know, if you do that, and let's say you install it on a Mac Mini or something like that, or Raspberry Pi or whatever, you still have to do something about the connection protocols if you want to connect your devices like Zigbee or Z-Wave. And let's say you get one of these bridges, the Homey bridge, which again I think is like around $60 or something like that. By then you're getting up to about the price of a Homey Pro Mini, and a Homey Pro Mini gives you Thread and Zigbee built in. So I would just go with the Homey Pro Mini, you know, at that point. And then if you need Z-Wave and Bluetooth and stuff like that, you could get this, but at least with the Homey Pro Mini, you get Zigbee and Thread built in. I don't know, that's kind of my logic there. I will just say that I do really enjoy using Homey Pro. The Homey software is amazing. I use Home Assistant also, and it's just the advanced flows are great, you know. Oh, thank you, Alert Jerk says the bridge is $70. Okay. I stand corrected. So $70 for that bridge. But yeah, I mean, my point still, you know, remains the same. At that, once you do all that, you might as well just buy the Homey Pro Mini, unless you just want to try it for a little while. But yeah, I think, you know, maybe you use it for a couple months and then you're like, okay, I just want to go ahead and get the Homey Pro Mini or the Homey Pro. Yeah, HomeKit. They also announced that we talked about that last week, I think. So they did just upgrade the Homey Pro. They doubled the amount of RAM, so you can install more apps and stuff like that on there, which is really nice that they did. But no other changes as far as I could tell either. Yeah, I do not need any more subscriptions. I feel you, man. I know. I was talking about subscriptions in my last video, I think. We're all kind of tired of subscriptions. Yeah, I agree. Like I said, if it's something you commit to, so the comment here was new Homey server is a good deal for someone that wants to try Homey without the large upfront purchase. I agree. Very good point. And again, you do have a month free, so you can install it on your own system and you can try all that. You get a month free and then even pay $5 a month if you want to test it out a little longer. But, you know, to my point earlier, I don't think I would want to pay $5 a month forever. Because again, if it's something you commit to, you're going to want to use it for a long time. You know, if you're setting up all your automations, all your devices. So I would probably eventually you will probably just buy the lifetime. Maybe that's what they're trying to do. I don't know. But yeah, but also I do want to mention too that, let me see here. And maybe a lot of people don't know this, but if you do just want to try it, you can, and this has been around for a while, you can sign up and create an account and you can try the Homey Cloud account for free. And you get, I mean, there's a lot of limitations, like you know, you can only connect so many devices and stuff like that, but you can try Homey Cloud for free if you just want to try. Oh, sorry, I thought I had my screen up there. You can try this out for free if you just want to see what the software is all about, and you can kind of try those advanced flows and stuff like that, and just to see if you like it, which I don't know, people may not know you can do that. So you could do that without, you know, having to install it on your in your server or anything like that. So some options there if you just want to try it out. Okay, let's see. Do we have any more important stuff to talk about? Not really. Let's answer some questions. Yeah, buy once, cry once. That's how I feel about it too, man. Let's see if we got some questions. We got some from earlier. The Tyler Pat said, I know you can use Lutron switches for lights with 2 different switch points. Can you also do this for lights that have 3 and 4 switches to control them? Yeah, so you can set up, I'm pretty sure you can set up Pico remotes for 3-way switches or 4-way switches that have multiple switches. You can also buy the accessory switches. I think they're called accessory switch or something like that. Maybe I'm not 100% sure on the name of that. But you can buy those, and they're a lot cheaper than the regular Lutron Caseta switches. And that's a physical switch, so it's not like the wireless Pico remotes. And you can use those in like the other switches on that circuit. So yes, you can definitely do this with Lutron switches. Colix 118 says favorite indoor camera. I bought the Topo C125, but it has terrible noise cancellation for the mic. I was looking at a Aqara G100, but I didn't want the floodlight turning with voice commands. Turning on with voice commands, the G100. Let me look at and see which one that one was. I think that's the really affordable small one. Yeah. Well, I've never had it in black. I've had the white one. Yeah, this is just a really good affordable camera right here. It supports Apple HomeKit secure video. You know, best indoor camera. I mean, there's so many. I like the Aqara ones. I'm not really sure what you're talking about with the floodlight turning with voice commands, but Aqara has some good affordable ones. I like the Topo ones myself, the C125. I think that's one of the ones that I liked. I didn't really use the microphone and the audio very much, so I can't really speak on that too much. But it worked well in HomeKit. I'm actually using one of those. I think it's the C125 I'm using right now to watch over my 3D printer. One of them they discontinued. Yeah, that's the one they discontinued, I think. Yeah, it's only available at Best Buy, I think, right now. Oh, they're on sale. Good price. You can get... I know you say you don't like them, but if anybody wants one, you can get 2 of them for $70 right now. Yeah, I like that camera. I mean, just kind of a basic indoor camera. But again, Aqara makes good ones. Eufy has some pretty affordable indoor cameras that you could get. I'm trying to think what else. I don't really use a lot of indoor cameras myself. Most of my cameras are outdoors. So, thank you, Eroyo 309. Yes, the Claro Smart Accessory Switch. I wanted to say Claro, but I wasn't 100% sure that was right. Okay, Claro Smart Accessory Switch for those Diva switches. So if you need the accessory switch for those 3- and 4-way switches, you can get the Claro Smart Accessory Switch. Thank you for clarifying the name of that. Okay, where was I? Oh, dang. Michael Lewis says, a fan of Aqara, but have tons of problems with connectivity and motion sensing on the G100. Yeah, I haven't used the G100 in my house for any extended period of time. I did install one in the backyard at a friend's house right down the street, and I have not heard any complaints, and it seems to be working well, but I haven't had checked in to see if there's been any issues with like connectivity or anything like that. It seems to be working fine every time I check in with them. Yeah, Unify makes the G6 instant, not a HomeKit camera, but great indoor Wi-Fi camera nonetheless. Yeah, so I've pretty much switched all my cameras to Unify. I do have the G6 instant also. I think is it the G6? I might have the G5 instant. I can't keep all these names straight, man. There's so many crazy names. I think I do have the G6. But that's the Unify one right there. But you see, you're going to pay more for Unify cameras for sure. But if you have a Unify network especially, then these are nice to have. But this is a Wi-Fi camera right here. So you could still use that. And yeah, they make good cameras. Trying to think if there's any other indoor cameras that I use. Yeah, I really only have like, Eve makes a HomeKit camera. I've got one of those in here actually. The Eve indoor camera. It's probably not the greatest indoor camera, I would say, in terms of quality, but it works exclusively with Apple HomeKit Secure Video, and it's not a bad camera, but I don't know. I'd probably go with, I think you get better, more affordable cameras from Aqara. Best way to get Reolink video doorbell battery into Apple Home. Do I need the NVR hub? I prefer the NVR, but is it needed? The Reolink NVR, okay. Let me think here about this. So I use scripted, and I'm kind of moving away from scripted, or I'm thinking about moving away from scripted. But scripted has been great. So you can use scripted. You can set up on a Synology or whatever, Mac Mini, different things like that, kind of like Home Assistant. And I've used it just for my cameras to get mainly Unify cameras or any other cameras into Apple HomeKit that don't support HomeKit natively. And for the doorbell camera, I'm trying to remember because I had that one set up for a while. And I can't remember if I had to go through the NVR. I did have a Reolink NVR, and I can't remember if I had to go through the NVR to get scripted to work or not. I don't think so, but I'm not 100% sure. But I know you don't. I don't think you need the NVR to get that to work. If you're running scripted, but you got to have something like that in order, set that. Maybe a Home Assistant can probably do it too, and I don't think you need the NVR for that either. But yeah, you're gonna need something like that to get your cameras and stuff like that into HomeKit if it doesn't natively support it. That's a very specific question. Is there an Apple HomeKit flush mounted LED 4-inch light that can be RGB and turn on and off by a wall switch? I don't know. Let's do a search. Flush mount LED 4-inch light, RGB light. I know there's a bunch of, oh, is that one Matter supported? Hey, looky there. GE Sync's got a 4-inch one. And it supports Matter. But yeah, there's a number of these. I'd have to look to see to make sure they are exactly 4 inches. But you got GE Sync that has their Matter version. Nanoleaf has some. Let me see if we can find Nanoleafs. Oh, they got 3-inch downlights. I don't know if they have 4-inch downlights. So like here's one from Nanoleaf. Obviously you got Philips Hue makes stuff like this. There's a number of them. So just make sure it has either Matter or HomeKit support if you want to be able to integrate it into your smart home. But just find one that's got your features that you want, you know, RGB, and then look for, again, HomeKit or Matter support, and you should be good to go. Now, as far as controlling it with a light switch, that's going to depend on your switch. So anything that's hardwired like this to a switch, the switch is going to kill the connection. That has nothing to do with the light. That has to do with the switch more or less. You can get certain switches that support what's called a smart bulb mode or something along those lines. There's a few of them that do it. The Innovelli switch is one. Here, I'll show you that real quick. So these switches right here, you can get the white series, which supports Matter over Thread. You can get this into Apple HomeKit. These support a smart bulb mode, and what that does is basically just bypasses the physical relay in the switch, and then you just program the switch to control the lights through automations. So that's kind of what a smart bulb mode does. You could also look at things like, I think Philips Hue maybe has some sort of switch that you could get that would work with your light if you got Philips Hue lights. You could also do the Aqara switches. The Aqara H2 switches have that smart bulb mode also. They call it something different. I think they call it like a relay lock or something like that, but you can basically lock that out so that the physical switch doesn't control the ceiling light. That's exactly what I do here in my studio. I have Nanoleaf ceiling lights that are connected to the switch, and then I have an Aqara switch, but I've got it set so that the switch does not physically turn off that light. It's just automations that will turn on and off the light at the switch. So that's kind of how you have to approach that whole thing if you have smart ceiling lights that are physically wired to the switch. Edgar's Home Tech, what's going on, man? How you doing? Glad you can make it here. Thomas says, any update on the Aqara FP300? Do you have an inside scoop on one or on when they will be available again or a new code? I don't, man, unless you haven't seen this last live stream, but same thing I've been saying pretty much all month is I was told was mid to late December they'll be available again, and I was told they'll give me a new discount code once they're available again. So nothing new to report on, but that's the last thing I was told, and we are now December 17th, so I would say we are officially in mid-December. So they did tell me mid to late December, so I'm assuming within the next 2 weeks, hopefully, unless something's changed and they just haven't let me know, hopefully that will be available again. And when they do, I will, if they don't just send me one automatically, I'll reach out and I'll try to get a new discount code. They told me they would. And I'll definitely post like on my Instagram account. So follow me over there because that'll be the first place I share something like that, and I'll make sure I get that discount code out to all you guys, everybody who wants to take advantage of that, because it's been a very popular sensor. I know they sold out quick, and I kind of wish I had a couple more myself before they sold out. Yeah, decouple mode. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, it might be called something different depending on, like I know the Innovelli calls it smart bulb mode. Decouple mode, I think, might be what Aqara calls it. So yeah, perfect. Thank you for that. Adam Brosard says 1 month celebrates 1 month of membership. Thank you for being a channel member, and shout out to that gifted membership from a month ago. Nice. Awesome, man. Yeah. I wonder who was it that gifted the membership a month ago. It's probably George. There's been a few of them here, but George was gifting out a bunch. Let me see if I can we do a gifted membership? Let me see here. Let me see if I can gift some right now. Let's see, is it gonna work? Hey, there we go. So I just gifted some membership. So if you're not a member, maybe you'll get gifted one. This is just randomly selected. So Jason, McCory, Billibert, a few of you got a gifted membership there. So yes, thank you, Frederick. And great point. If I am not able to get your question and you are a channel member, ask me over in Discord. You can tag me in Discord. You can also ask the group. Frederick and so many other great people, Brian, a lot of these guys are over in Discord, and a lot of helpful, smart people over there in our Discord server as well. Let's see if we got any more questions for me to get to. FZone331 asks, have you had any issues keeping Homey Pro connected? Used for almost 2 years with no problems, then it trashed. Replaced on warranty, having problems reconnecting again. Use the Ethernet connector. No, I have not had any issues with mine. I will say, I do think there was one point in time where I was having some issues, and it ended up being a bad Ethernet cable, if I'm not mistaken. And I just replaced the cable, and it might have took me a minute to figure that out. But yeah, other than that, I haven't had any issues. So I assume you probably checked that, but if you haven't, make sure your Ethernet cables are good and everything like that. But yeah, it's been working solid for me. I also use the Ethernet connector as well, and I haven't had any issues with mine. Oh, nice. Thank you. The Tyler Pat says, as a past member, the Discord is very helpful. Nice. I appreciate that. Yeah, I think it is. Great place. If you're just an enthusiast, or if you're trying to build your smart home, it's a great place. I find out new stuff in that Discord server every day. So it's really cool. I enjoy it very much myself. Oh, thank you. Hair Riot. What's going on? Tuning in here at the end. Glad I got to catch it. Great episode of the podcast this week. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. You had a dream about this moment. Nice. What was the dream? Dreams do come true, George says. Indeed they do. Indeed they do. Never stop dreaming, right? Let me see if we got time for a few more questions here. Kuma-san66 says, what's your go-to light bulbs to use at HomeKit with sensor presence? I'm using LaFair, but don't know which bulbs to pair in HomeKit. Honestly, man, I've said this before a few times. I really don't use smart light bulbs much at all in my house. I just don't really use smart light bulbs. You know, all my main lighting is overhead lighting, and I use smart switches for those, except for in here where I have the Nanoleaf ceiling light in here. But all my main lighting connected to switches is smart switches, and then I have a bunch of accent lights stuff like that, but I don't really use smart light bulbs. So I'm not honestly the best person to ask. I know, people have different opinions. There's a few people in our Discord server that use smart light bulbs. I am using one right now I'm using the Aqara one, and I've had a really good experience with that so far. It uses Zigbee, so the connection is really good. I would say, yeah, you said you're using the LaFair presence sensor, but I mean, really with any sensor, as long as it's a good responsive sensor, you just want a good connection with your light bulb too. I would say Aqara to